Welcome, everybody, to the Magnetico podcast, the New York Mets edition. I am Jason Magnetico. I'm here with my son, Cole.
What's up, everybody?
I'm going to turn your mic up a little bit.
What's up, everybody? There we go. Having technical difficulties, but it's okay.
We're good. So we're going to, it's February, what is it?
February 6th, 2024.
February 6th, 2024. We've been busy recording about the NFL,
I mean, it's
we got to touch on the Mets a little bit.
baseball's kind of being overshadowed right now, but there is baseball this month.
Pitchers and catchers reporting soon.
Yeah, I think they already reported.
So we've seen a lot of stuff out there on social media that we follow, and we wanted to come and kind of just break down our take right now, what's going on with the New York Mets. So, Cole, I'm going to let you start because you don't see as much as I see social media-wise.
Is that true, though?
Social media, you're more in the actual ESPN and the articles that are being written, kind of where I'm seeing more of the fans' take. So that's why I wanted to have this discussion with you. Right now, the state of the New York Mets, what is your take?
I mean, it's kind of shaky, but Steve Cohen said that we're not looking to win this season. But if we win, it's great.
I don't know that he said that we're not looking to win.
We're obviously looking to win, but he's saying, like, we're building towards the future.
Absolutely.
That's what he meant.
But that's the one thing that the fans get twisted a little bit is that they did they're doing what they said they were going to do. Mm-hmm. They really weren't in play for Ohtani. Let's be honest.
And we didn't want him anyway.
They went hard after the pitcher. That didn't work out. The Dodgers, I think, is going to be looking back at it, I think it's going to be one of the worst off seasons ever in baseball history.
This offseason?
Like
in total or for the Dodgers?
For the Dodgers. Because I think they have leveraged everything on these two guys.
Yeah.
One guy who's never pitched in the MLB before. And listen, he should be good. I mean, Singo has been good, but I don't know that I would have leveraged that much money. And then to defer the money, as a Mets fan, I know
it's going to be horrible for them.
Who's going to own the team in 10 years? It's just a lot there. I'm not sure it's going to pan out for the Dodgers, and that doesn't matter. I think that the Mets are taking an approach. Steve Cohen is a billionaire, like I said, for a reason. And he's hired front office people to do a job. And if you look back at the Mets last year, we didn't trade away everybody. Our farm system is young. We have a lot of talent.
That's what a farm system is. They're young.
But we haven't always had that. When you make these big splash signs, like we'll just take Verlander and Scherzer, for example, and their money's going to be coming off the books. When you sign guys like that and you tie up that money, or you trade to get guys and you give away prospects, you're not building for your future. You're just every year trying to put something together. And then you look at teams like the Braves, the Rays, for example, Tampa Bay. I mean, every year they just keep their farm system, boom, plugging in players. And nowadays, I saw a thing today, the Mets are projected to win the last wild card.
That's what I saw. We're projected to get 84 wins.
84 wins.
The third wild card.
I can't even name our starting five at the moment. We have the best fifth starter. So, Cole, you could tell me. Because I've been watching the moves that they're making, but they're signing a lot of 1 year, 2 year guys that could have bounce back years, but they're not tying up money long term. And I saw a projection. Everybody wanted the Mets to sign J.D. Martinez, right?
Yeah.
Have you seen the projection of J.D. Martinez and
Vientos?
I can't pronounce. Vientos? Vientos is going to be fine. If Vientos was just a DH and you put his projection numbers next to J.D. Martinez, there's not much of a difference there. If anything, Vientos might be a little better.
JD Martinez was an all-star last year.
I'm not saying he's not, but Viento's given the opportunity, and that's what the Mets are doing here. They're making room for their young guys to be successful, to have an opportunity, instead of just going. Now, I do think we got to sign a bat. We have to sign.
Maybe a Jorge Soler.
I like that. I like it. Vientos maybe could push Beatty at third.
This is what I think, because obviously Beatty's a lefty, Vientos is a righty. Vientos slashes better against lefties. Beatty's better versus righties. I say there's a lefty on the mound, put Vientos at third. Well, depending on who we sign. Say we sign Soler. He's going to be our DH for a good 130 games, 140. So Soler is going to be our main DH because he's getting old. So why not switch out Vientos and Beatty at third? Like,
I think that's definitely a possibility.
Depending on the pitcher, obviously.
I think it's definitely a possibility. I would like to see them sign Soler just to have another veteran bat in the lineup to protect Pete.
Or like you said earlier today to me, you said Matt Chapman. I mean, Matt Chapman's a great veteran bat.
Well, that's my concern right now is Beatty at third. Defensively, I don't think he's great.
Oh man, I'm thinking of that one play against the Dodgers. Oh, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. I don't think he's a great third baseman.
Pop fly off the face.
I think he can hit, but I think he just kind of ran into some struggles last year, which is going to happen with a young player.
He got called up. I mean, it's going to happen. You're not going to hit 1,000.
But, I like what the Mets are doing, and I have trust in Cohen and the hires that he's made in our front office to look at this long term. It's not, everybody wants to win now, but it's not about just 2024 season, 2025. Where are we going to be at in 2030? Are we building an organization from top to bottom? And I'm going with Steve Cohen. I think the Mets are in a great position. Yes, our pitching staff, our starting pitching right now isn't great. The bullpen is kind of makeshift. Like, who's going to be the setup man?
I mean, we've made some great bullpen signings. I like it. Like, I like the way our bullpen is stacked up right now.
Okay.
Jake Diekman, Shintaro Fujinami. Shintaro struggled, but
he struggled in Oakland. Like, everybody struggled in Oakland.
I know, but he got to Baltimore. He kind of found his rhythm, but he was still kind of struggling. But that's gonna happen. It's his first year because he got signed from Japan. He was a rookie, so he's gonna struggle. And I mean,
so you're liking overall kind of the direction that we're going.
Yeah, I do like this offseason. I like most of the signings. The one signing I don't like is Severino. I just don't understand it, honestly. I mean, obviously we need starting pitching, but paying Luis Severino $15 million in 1 year?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like we're just throwing away money.
We need starting pitching.
Yeah. But there's
He's
more
done it. He's done it before. But here's the thing about him. Okay? He's done it in New York. So Beatty, I'm not sure yet, right?
The Bronx is different from Queens.
No, but it's not. It's not.
But it is.
Okay, but it's not. Because in New York, when after the game, all those reporters are running up to you, it's not like in Tampa. It's not like, Philly. Even Philly, a big as market as Philly, New York's different. And if you've pitched in the Bronx, you could pitch in Queens. If you pitch in Queens, you could pitch in the Bronx. Beatty's a prime example. I'm a little worried that the lights were a little too bright for Beatty. And when you struggle defensively, that makes it even that much harder. I look to a Lindor, a Pete, to be the veteran leadership to kind of help him along. But I'm a little concerned about that, and that's why I like the guy that you just brought up about signing him for a little protection. I thought we would go out and get Justin Turner.
Didn't happen. But that's the thing. Justin Turner signed the Blue Jays. You know who's on the Blue Jays? Matt Chapman. So that just means that Matt Chapman's probably not going back to Toronto. So maybe we slide in there, give him a little 2-year deal, veteran deal, and he is one of the best defensive third basemen in the league.
How's he hit? A good hitter?
Good 260 hitter. I mean,
with some pop or
he's got some pop. He had a great first month of the year last year. He was player of the month. So, I mean, he kind of was on the decline after that, but it happens.
yeah. I just long term wise, it's not like when I was your age, you had to win your division to get in.
Yeah.
I
mean, you don't have to do that now with that extra wild card spot.
Yeah, you're seeing wild card teams make the World Series now. So to go out there and to make these big splashes and to spend all this money, just because we have the money doesn't mean that we should spend it.
Yeah. And
I saw a thing the other day. I think we're kind of around, depending on what you're looking at, kind of in that 9th place, 10th, 11th in baseball farm system wise.
We're definitely top 10.
Yeah. I mean, so that to me means something. And you're letting the young guys, you're not blocking them, I guess is what I'm saying. You sign, the Yankees sign Soto, right? And they want to sign him long term. That's fine to me. Like, if you look at our prospects in the minors, we've got some guys that can play the outfield. We got some young talent. And if you sign Soto and you pay him all that money, or a Shohei, you're blocking the talent that you have in the minors. And at some point, I get tired of watching as a Mets fan, and I said this to you on another show, who is that? Who? And these other teams, like the Braves, are a perfect example, the Braves. It's like every year we turn on the Braves and they got a freaking all-star at another position.
Yeah, that's the thing. Speaking of the Braves, that's what they do. Like, they see a young talent early. Austin Riley, for example, signed him when he was 21 for 9 years. They locked him up already, and now he's a superstar. Best third baseman in baseball. Did the same thing with Michael Harris. I mean, their farm system was obviously one of the best. And now they have multiple superstars, Acuna, Riley, Michael Harris. I mean, Matt Olson, but they traded for him, so.
And when you kind of look at the Mets roster at the moment, at catcher, I think we got one of the brightest star young catchers that there is in baseball. I hope that we can lock him up long term. Pete Alonso at first. I hope we can lock him up long term. Jeff McNeil, second base. Great
utility guy. And we could put him in the outfield if need be.
He could play third. He could play second. He could play the outfield. Lindor, great season last year. Veteran presence in the clubhouse. Then you go to third base. Okay, we got some young guys. It hurts with Mauricio. That hurt because that was that young player that we were looking to take the next step. But he'll be back next year. So third base is kind of an if. Then you go to the outfield. Nemo, one of the best center fielders in baseball.
We know what we have with him.
Okay. Marte. If Marte has a good season.
But that's the thing.
I'm just saying we have young guys in the farm that can come up like the Braves and fill these. Now, going into 25 and 26, we start bolstering the starting five.
The thing about Marte, though, is he can't stay on the field. He played, 70, 80 games last year, and he was subpar at best. I mean, I say we trade him. Try and get a couple prospects, maybe some major league players.
And that's definitely going to be the role that the Mets take on this year is kind of like, okay, who could we trade, get a couple of pieces for the future, but still compete?
Yeah. And it's not like our roster is it's not like our roster is like the Detroit Tigers. You know what I mean?
Who do you think right now starting outfield is?
Starting outfield, Nimmo in left, Bader in center. Probably Marte in right.
You think Bader's going to start in center?
I think Bader's going to start. He's one of the fastest players in the MLB. I mean, putting him in center just makes sense, honestly.
Okay. I'm not mad at that. He's a Florida Gator and friends with Alonso. So we have to sign Alonso.
Yeah. I mean, that's crucial.
I've thrown this out to you. I know you don't like to hear it, but I don't even want to think about that scenario. But when I say that I trust our front office and I trust our owner, I know that that's in their mind. Like, you know what we could get for Pete?
We can get a lot, but it's
So I don't even want to put it out there because I don't. Steve Cohen's going to hire me one day, and I'm going to. I don't want to burn any bridges because you got to sign Pete. You got to. Like he should have the C on his chest, and he should retire him.
I agree.
So I think that the future is bright, and I'm looking forward to pitchers and catchers reporting. Edwin Diaz coming back.
That's gonna be great. I mean,
People forget we didn't have Diaz last year.
and we didn't do great, but with him, that's definitely a step up. You know how many you know how many late innings we blew?
Yeah.
I mean, would have been great to have him in there.
And then you said you like the bullpen.
I
People
love it.
do not. People disagree with you on this.
I love it, honestly, because they're 1 year prove it deals. I mean, it's not like we signed them for 5 years.
And that's
like-
kind of my take on Severino, or whatever his name is.
Yeah.
You know, the Mets are in a position this year that at the All-Star break right now, everybody could be looking at the Mets going, "Wow, what moves them? That was a great sign by them. Great did it." Or they could be sitting in a position kind of like we're expecting, just kind of hovering around 500 and got a shot at the wild card. This is what they said they were going to do. And I don't know why Mets fans, and we'll be posting this show on all the pages, I don't know why y'all are so mad, so negative. Like we're Mets fans, we're used to losing. Let's build something. And I trust Steve Cohen in the front office, and I'm looking forward to the next 5 years of what they put together, as long as we sign Pete.
As long as we sign Pete.
But let me ask you this.
As long as we sign Francisco Alvarez.
So that's as big of a key right now to lock down a catcher that can hit like him.
Oh, man.
That's big.
And he's great at defense. Like,
He's
we're
gotten a lot better.
overshadowing his defensive ability as well. Like, he's an all-around catcher.
Yeah, he's gotten a lot better, that's for sure. But you know, if you could lock down Alvarez and Alonso, but let me before we go, if we're hovering around 500 possible playoff spot, and the Mets were to trade Alonso, and they got 2 top elite pitching prospects and first base prospect and a player to be named later. And I think that's low. What they could get for Pete.
I don't even want to think about
I'm
that.
just saying, if they were to bring in this major haul of talent for the future to go with Alvarez to kind of build, because how old is Pete now?
28.
28. So realistically, what do we have? Another good 4 years. The thing with the DH now is Pete could kind of slide into the DH, so that you could get a little further. I mean, hell, they're paying Ohtani for I don't know how long.
10.
That's so.
And Blake Snell wants 9 years, $300 million, but he's 31. You're not gonna be pitching. He might stay a free agent.
That's crazy. That
he just won the Cy Young. Crazy. Just because he's asking, like, a 5-year deal makes sense, but 9 years, really? You're 31. You're not going to be pitching till you're 40.
I mean, he could.
He could, but at this level, at this rate,
Yeah.
I wouldn't take that risk.
So overall, before pitchers and catchers report in a couple weeks, we both as Mets fans, we're feeling good about the situation that we're in. We're not looking to win the division this year. We're being realistic. We're looking to go to a few games, have a good time, and root our team on. But we definitely want Alonso to sign.
Yes.
But we also know if he doesn't sign, we're gonna get a good haul for him.
If we even trade him.
I mean,
it'd be
they're not gonna let him walk.
Stupid to let him walk.
They're not gonna let him walk. That's not happening. That's not happening. They're either gonna sign him long term or they're gonna trade him. You're not going to let a player like Pete Alonso walk. The
The
thing,
Angels did. Angels let Ohtani walk.
it was stupid. Stupid.
And they're not trading Mike Trout. It's stupid.
It makes no sense. As a our ownership and our front office baseball operation people are not going to let that happen. And the fact that they haven't signed him long term tells me everything's on the table.
Yeah.
Which, as a fan and reporting on the team, I kind of like. You know, you give these guys these big contracts, and then not saying that Pete would do that, but you give, a guy like Jason Bay comes to mind that the Mets paid all this money. And nothing. Not that Pete would do that. Pete is going to be a great hitter for a long time. But I like that they have the leverage. And they're saying, what's best for the Mets and the Mets fans? So I'm looking forward to it. Maybe we'll catch a spring training game.
I'm just ready for baseball to start up again.
So any last words before we get out of here?
Sign a bat. Maybe. I'm not saying sign another pitcher because our rotation, I kind of like our rotation, but sign another pitcher, sign another bat.
Tell me our rotation real quick.
Kodai Senga, Luis Severino, Adrian Hauser, Joey Lucchesi. And there's another one in there that I'm not thinking of.
Yeah.
Wait.
It's going to be a long year.
No. I actually know. Hold on. I'm pulling it up right now.
No, it's going to be a long year. But like we've talked about, it's going to be a mixed matching, and we have some depth. We have some options. And we'll see what happens. But I see another big splash coming. I see a big splash coming. I don't think it'll be Snell. But
it better not be Snell.
Not at that money. That's crazy money. Well, we want to thank everybody for listening to the Magnetico podcast. This is the New York Mets edition. Check us out every week on our Magnetico podcast, and we'll be bringing you more Mets coverage. Go ahead. I'm going to let you.
Kodai Senga, Jose Quintana, Sean Manaea, Adrian Hauser, Luis Severino. Peace.